Hi there, guys. Do you guys remember back in the day? Don't know how old all of you are, but do you guys remember when there was a time when just talking about somebody's mama or saying your mama was straight fighting words? Like nothing else needed to be said. It was a complete and total trigger. It just is what it is. You say something about somebody's mama, talk about mama, whatever. And I remember when I was growing up, uh, it would be something so silly and trivial. They try to make a joke out of it. It would be stuff like your mama wear football socks or something like that, and everybody would just die laughing. And still, though, and even more so, the person ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? And um, oh, how things have changed. Oh, how things have changed. I'm gonna be very honest. I never thought uh, that I would ever be in a time and place where degrading women, period, but especially black men degrading black women would just be the norm. It's just a thing. Like it's expected. You know what I'm saying? At this point, and it's been going on for a while. But I made a video, and I hope that I can remember to put the video uh, up here at the end. I made a video, oh, I don't even know when. Maybe a year ago. I don't even remember. But it's been a while ago that I made this video. And the video was literally talking about how there was going to soon come a time when black women were going to start being defended. And not only by other black women like me who have this is what I've always done. It's my platform. But by even other black men and by other races of people. And it's a slow process. But again, if you guys would do what I keep saying, step back, take a big picture, a broad view of the bigger picture, you'll see that things are slowly beginning to change. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that was always said, and at first it was making people angry, but now I think people are actually kind of beginning to see it, because I definitely am. That thing is that, when good men, when good men were like, they were unaware that these things were going on these podcasts, Red Pill, Minstrel, even a lot of men were even saying that they didn't know what that was. And in a way, I can believe that. I think things get passed around social media a lot of times, and you don't know where it come from. You know what I'm saying? I know with me, so many, especially like singers, rappers, entertainers, these people just pop up with millions of followers and everything, and it's just like, be looking like, who are they? Like, what do they do? And it's just like, I don't know them at all. Now, I will also say I'm not always the one that's like so up on everything that is going on, especially new people. But somewhere down the line, I'm going to hear your song, I'm going to hear your rap, I'm going to hear your music or whatever, and I'm going to catch hold to you. Or another thing I always have an issue with is like reality stars. Like I be trying to figure out like who are they? Who is she? Oh, but you such and such show. And when so and so and this person did that, and be like, because that's how my friend be telling me, and I just be like, no, because I don't look at that. You know what I'm saying? I just really never have. um, way back in the day, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I did started trying to watch that at one point. And I was kind of getting into it, but even then, I didn't like the fighting. I didn't like seeing full grown, beautiful. These women are so freaking beautiful. Real, full grown, beautiful women just throwing drinks in each other's faces and fighting. And like going out to nice restaurants and throwing these extravagant parties and stuff and end up fighting. Or end up, so and so over here, she said so and so about you, and then going and confronting other full grown women like that. It's so childish in high school. It's almost like full grown women, mother wives, and everything acting like 14, 15, 16-year-old, girls in a locker room or whatever. Or, oh, I didn't really want her at my party. Who invited her to my party? Childish. So anyway, let me get back to the point, y'all. So I told you guys that. And getting back to men, quote unquote good men, not really being aware. A lot of these men, to their credit, were at work. Like they were doing what they're supposed to be doing. They was at work, taking care of their family, making money, doing whatever. So they were not online all day, every day, listening to a lot of the foolishness that was going on. And so I feel like now that a lot of these men who were not aware, and maybe it's also a great number of men who have begun to like start changing their views, because it's kind of like, it's getting tiring. For what? Why? Like, y'all are getting tiring. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these men have just begun to see that stuff just doesn't benefit them. Like, why hate women? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, all of these different male podcasters who say these horrible, nasty, ugly, negative things about women in general, but black women in particular, their end is usually the same. Be alone for the guys. Be alone. Be by yourself. Find a way to be happy. Make money, go to the gym. And that's the sentiment. And when these guys do that, and they make their money, and they are successful, and they're going to the gym, got a nice body, they made their money, and it's just like they're alone, and they're miserable, and they're unhappy, and the ones who aren't, that's fine. Like, seriously, the ones who aren't, that's fine. But the real truth of the matter is that there are so many of them coming out of their own mouths. Like, this is not like somebody lying on them. This is not somebody, saying this about them. This is men sitting in their cars, sitting in their rooms, sitting behind microphones and everything on different platforms, saying, what's it all for? And I've done videos about that. Saying that they're lonely, saying that they feel useless, saying, what is this all for? And even some who have now changed all that mentality, got a girlfriend, got a woman, are happy and are saying, literally, I'm glad I was rescued. Like, literally, I was drowning, about to die, got a girlfriend, changed my views, changed my attitude about women, and I'm happy now. You know what I'm saying? While there's still others who are literally out here drowning. And literally fighting for their lives with loneliness, depression. What's it all for? What's the, like, these when people start, unless it's deep self reflection for growth and maturity, usually questions like, what's it all for? What's life for? Why am I doing those are usually questions of despair. Those are usually questions of a person who is getting to their wits' end and beginning to question their life as to, like, really, for real, what's it all for? You know what I'm saying? And that's not good. It's not a good place. The data, the statistics, the psychologists, science, everywhere, everybody is talking about this whole big, in a nutshell, epidemic of lonely men. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to flex. I'm not saying that to disparage or talk about men. It is a reality. It's just a reality. So, with that being the case, with that being the case, we are coming to a time now where a lot of these podcasters, a lot of this red pill stuff, a lot of this toxic, horrible, toxic masculine energy. And let me say something about that real quick. I hope I don't forget my thought. But one of the funny things about that is people like to throw out, oh, masculinity is not toxic. I agree with that. I agree. Masculinity is not in itself toxic. I think those male podcasters make it toxic. I think red pill, manosphere, and all this other, MGTOW, I think that makes it toxic. I don't think masculinity in itself, just like femininity, I'm like, they just are what they are. They're not toxic or not toxic. It's the personality behind it. It is the people, it's the teaching, it's the way that the way that it comes out and the way that it's presented that makes it toxic. So, I don't believe masculinity in itself is toxic, but I do, and I will continue to stand on the fact that I think that there's definitely male toxic masculinity out there. With that being the case, as I said, we're beginning to see people are beginning to lose interest in that. People are beginning to lose interest in, just men sitting around for the last 3, 4, 5 years or whatever, making money, not only off of women, at the expense of women, at the joke of women, but making money off of men who like to sit around and be entertained by men badgering, dragging, trying to make women look bad, trying to make women look stupid, and just bringing out the fact that, women are useless, women are only for sex and making babies and children and taking care of men and, cooking, cleaning, all of this stuff. I think people are tired of it. I really do. And that's men and women. I think people are just kind of getting to a point of what's it all for. You know what I'm saying? There's only so many black women jokes you can make. I truly believe I don't see how you can continue to make weave jokes. I don't see the fingernail jokes. Like the eyelash, like it's already been made. It's already been done. The point is well taken. And like I've said before, these women that you guys put up as the stereotypical black woman with, eyelashes out to here that look like Mr. Cephalophagus, the clown makeup, the bad weaves, like that, that's been done and played. It's kind of like a comedian who continues to get up and tell the same jokes. Like you're gonna stop selling tickets. You're gonna stop going to the show because like we already know what you're gonna say. We already know what it's about. And after a while, okay, yeah, well, it's funny. It used to be funny, but it's just like, what else you got? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we know that's not all black women. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, personally, and like I said before, I admit, I don't always get out and get around to all these other places all the time, but I don't see black women who wear eyelashes like that and wear horrible makeup. Matter of fact, most black women, starting from whenever they learn how to do makeup, are pretty good at it. Like seriously, I've been wearing makeup since I was what? Probably full face makeup, about 16, 15, 16, something like that. And I knew how to color coordinate. You know what I'm saying? I didn't wear lashes. I wore my mascara and whatever, a little lipstick and some eyeliner, whatever. And, you just color coordinating. Like you can go anywhere and learn and find out how to wear makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like, and especially back in my day, you got laughed at for wearing some crazy, retarded looking makeup. So, I think these are extremes. I really do. I think a lot of times also people go and get and find people who have obvious either drug or mental um, problems and put those up as a stereotype or whatever. There was real quick. There was a video that this guy did, and it was a video of this guy who he was in a gas station. I don't know if he worked there or if he was just a customer or whatever. And he just saw this woman. This woman obviously had mental problems. Obviously, like you could just look at her. I mean, come on. But she wasn't bothering nobody. She was over there by herself trying to think she was trying to find out some potato chips or something. She wasn't bothering nobody. Um, but her makeup, yeah, like she looked like she literally had got a bottle of foundation and just kind of slathered it in different parts of her face. Like I mean, come on. It looked really, really bad. But like I say, just looking at her, you can tell something's going on with this lady. Like she didn't, as a normal person getting up in her everyday regular life, put that type of makeup on to go out in public. And me and everybody else on that post, and I was so happy. I was so happy to see it. Most of the people, I didn't see a person in the comments that I read, and I read pretty far down, where anybody was saying anything bad, negative, or ugly about that woman. They literally were getting on the guy for even making light and trying to make fun of somebody like that. Like, sir, come on. This is not given what you think is given. Like, this is like you literally are exploiting a mentally ill person, which is exactly what he was doing. And he was posting it for laughs. So I don't know if he took that mess down. Hopefully he did, but you see a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Where people obviously are struggling with some homelessness or some type of mental condition, and people will laugh at them and make videos of them and things like that, and just put people um, up on the internet as viral. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that you're so childish that you are literally trying to make light of another person's problems or issues or whatever. And so at the end of the day, though, I think a lot of that stuff is now being called out. Those quote unquote good men who I was talking about who, kept saying that, oh, well, my friends ain't like that and I don't see that kind of stuff going on around my circle and blah, 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 blah. And, I don't know that because I be getting up going to work. So like I said, I can give them, I can believe that, I can go with that. And one of the things that I am beginning to also see is I'm starting to see a lot more men, even black men, which is great. I think these are some of the men who are now making these comments and so forth about the guys who are doing that stuff. Like, dude, that's not cool. Dude, that's not funny. Like, whatever. Or they'll correct it and say something like, oh, well, my wife don't do this. Or, my mom never did that. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And getting back to the beginning of what I opened the show with, as far as people talking about somebody mama being fighting words, yeah, it was. And like I said, it's crazy for me to look at and see and be a part of the degrading, the ugliness, the nastiness that you have seen black men do over the years. Um, and with that being said, this is not about black women at the moment, but yeah, black women do it too. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe, though, a lot of black women, and I could be biased, a lot of black women do it in retaliation to what the men are doing to them. Now, you've got some straight hating black women, women who don't like black, like you have that also. I don't usually listen to those kind of women, you know what I'm saying? So, but I know that they're there. So, I see this thing changing. I see it coming to an end. I see, um, you know, I see it for what it is. And what's sad about it, the ones who are still trying to hang on by a thread to this type of podcasting and commentaries and things like that, I just really feel bad for them because at the end of the day, I'm not even looking at the jokes anymore. Like I'm not looking at, whatever they're talking about anymore. Cause like I said, it's all been said. You know what I'm saying? Everything has already been said about black women over the years. So it's not for me even insulting anymore. It's just one of those things. And, this might seem like a hard truth, but it is a truth. It's my truth. It's what I see. It's how I look at it. Many times when there's some type of podcast or clip or something on the internet where there is a black man literally about to open his mouth, I'm already thinking it's going to be toxic, it's going to be manipulative, it's going to be degrading, it's going to be nasty, it's going to be ugly, it's going to be some type of joke about black women or children. It's not going to be helpful. It's not going to be pure. It's not going to be, it's going to be a lot of gaslighting. It's going to be a lot of insults, nastiness, bitterness, ugliness, and toxicity. Like I began saying, toxicity. 8 times out of 10, I'm usually right because literally this is the face of what black men have turned out to be. Usually when there's some black man giving some type of advice on women, children, or marriage or family or whatever, it's toxic. And it's only for black men. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is usually the things that black men talk about and the way that they see things, the way that they look at things, doesn't apply to literally any other man on the planet. Usually, this is literally some black man stuff. Like, literally. It's not things that apply to other men out in the world. It's just not. And that is literally the main reason why I look at it as off bat. It's going to be toxic. It's going to be something gaslighting. It's going to be something nasty, degrading, and ugly about black women that other men just don't do about their women. So it doesn't apply to other men. It can't apply to other men because most other men in the world don't think like that. Even men in dire poverty, don't have the same type of views as black men. I don't know where it comes from. I literally say black men are their own entity to themselves. Because, like I said, they don't think like other men. They don't move like other men. They don't operate like other men. Other men don't think, carry, and have the same type of mindset and ideology about women, career, family, home, raising children. Other men just don't think that way. They really don't. And I think that is one of the reasons why black men are used as buffoons. I think other men have caught hold to the fact, especially white men have caught hold to the fact that black men really are different. They don't think the same. They don't act, behave, whatever the same as other men. And I think they take that, use that, and they exploit that. I really do. And what's sad about it is that black men don't even realize that they're the butt of the joke. It's kind of like the kid. It's kind of like the kid. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to paint this picture because literally Spirit gave me a type of a type of kind of a picture. That's not the word I want to use, but kind of gave me a picture of what this was like. This situation between black men and white men were like. And I've never shared it with anyone. It's just always been something that I've had and knew. But I'm going to paint this picture a little bit. It's almost like the cool, popular kid, let's say captain of the football team, whatever. And he has this other guy who wants to be like him, who admires him, who sets him up on the pedestal, who literally thinks he's the sunshine in the rain. And this younger guy, or this guy who admires the football player guy, he's just always running in behind him. He's just always trying to be seen. He's always wanting to be a part of that guy's crowd. Like, he just idolizes him. And this guy, the football player guy, doesn't really, he's kind of like a little gnat, little bug that's kind of always in the way. Like, okay, yep, I see you. Okay, all right, man, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's get in the car, let's go, whatever. All right, man, I'm going to see you later sometime, And that's how he's treated. And so it's always something where he has to continue to try to run up to get the football player guy's attention. You know what I'm saying? So if there's something, let's say the football player guy and his friends want to be like, oh man, I dare you to go over there and, touch that girl butt. Or, I dare you to say such and such, or, I give you $5 if you go up there. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, the football player is the white man, just in the essence of being a white man. The little pesky, always trying to, get in the group and, be a part, admiring the football player guy is literally the black man. And this is what he does. The white man has literally put black men up on these podcasts, given them a voice, allowed them to do what they do. Because if you notice, black men aren't allowed to talk about Hispanic, white, Asian, literally, like they can't talk about any other women except for their own. So of course we get the backlash. But it's okay. Talk about your own. Talk about your children. Talk about baby mamas. Talk about your life. Talk about how you are literally a failure as a man, and we're gonna all laugh at you. We're gonna make it seem like, oh yeah, oh man, God, oh, that's the funniest thing in the world. But in reality, these men are really truly looking at you, because first of all, they don't do that. They protect their women and their children in their communities. They get up, they go to work, they do things to help build and grow their communities. You know what I'm saying? All these other women have the same issues that black women have, in many, many ways and many different kinds of ways. And yet, these men don't get up on podcasts and, sexualize their women. They don't get up there and berate their women, say that. And I know these men have issues with their women. I've dated outside of my race before, and I've heard men of other races say things like, oh yeah, well, we don't like everything our women do, and I don't like makeup, I don't that, but that's a woman thing. Like that the things that they do, I can deal with that in the big picture of making a home and keeping a family together. I don't care how she wears her hair, as long as she's taking care of the children, taking care of the house, being a good wife, being honest and faithful to me. But black men will literally downgrade, talk about, degrade, and everything a black woman, and not date her because she wear weave, or not even make her a potential partner because she doesn't. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, guys, I had to take that. But yeah, so literally at the end of the day, these other men use black men and what they know black men are going to do as the butt of the jokes. And that's just, when men get together and talk about things like the economy, talk about war, talk about communities, talk about fatherhood, talk about marriage, talk about family, whatever, career, whatever. Usually black men aren't in those type of conversations. They're usually not in those type of conversations. Why? Because there's a great amount of black men, not all at all. Matter of fact, my hope is literally in these Gen Z and millennial men, some of them, because I see how they are slowly beginning to make a change. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like many of the men who are correcting this behavior of older, especially older black men, it's so freaking sad. But anyway, those are younger men. These are Gen Z and younger millennial men that I see that are beginning to make videos and correct the behavior of all of these men who've been doing this stuff for so long. And first of all, I find that sad. I find it good and rewarding in some ways, but I also find it sad because, like, how are y'all letting these young men outman y'all? Like, how are y'all letting these young men, late 20s, early 30s, who don't even have life experience like you do, school y'all and tell y'all what y'all should be doing? And they're right. Like, that's really the thing. Like, I listen to some of these young men, and it's just like, y'all are right. Y'all are absolutely right. And it's making me feel like all these men who keep talking about tradition and going back to how your grandfather was, I'm truly believing that these young men are on a better path to getting, hopefully, relationships back. I think it's going to take a whole lot because, like I said, women in general are just fed up. And, that's a whole nother subject. But I really believe that they are going to be the ones that's going to take things back to the grandfather, great grandfather type era because that's what they're on. Like they are literally doing the exact opposite of what all these clown and buffoonery black men are out here doing that are way too old to be doing that dumb shit, but they're doing it. And so I have to admonish a lot of these younger men and younger millennial men that they're not following, they're learning from the mistakes of these older men. They really are. I wish they would stop listening to these older men because these older men, and I've said that before also in videos, they are bitter, they are toxic, and they literally are going to have you by yourself and alone. Like literally they are because they are. They really don't, or they're really not looking out for you guys' best interests. They're not trying to help you, find a good woman and how to build a relationship, which first of all, I don't even know why a lot of y'all were listening to them when you look at their track record to begin with. Yes, even Kevin Samuels. His track record for his family and money and career and all this was shit. Y'all know it was shit. Y'all were looking at it be shit. And y'all were still following these people. These older, bitter men who have messed up their lives and messed up their marriages and messed up with their children and messed up literally their lives. And now they want to get on podcasts and give y'all advice and y'all listen. I've been telling y'all that that's not the way to go. And now we're seeing as a lot of these podcasters are literally just walking off, quitting, not doing videos anymore because it's not working anymore. It's not, like I said, it's not funny anymore to continue the lame black women and black women, baby mamas, black women. Like I keep saying, we've done all of that. We've done all of that for so long now. Like it's getting played out. You know what I'm saying? Men are actually for real lonely. Men are actually for real looking for real good quality women And a lot of black women actually truly are good women, good mothers, good cooks, have integrity, have loyalty, have faithfulness, looking for one man, looking for marriage. Like there are plenty of black women out here like that. So the stereotypical baby mama, loud, smacking gum, ignorant, that stuff is getting played out because everyone is seeing that that's not the average black woman. Y'all are going and getting a prototype. Y'all are going and getting a prototype and making a whole image around that kind of stuff. Um, Let me see what else I have to say because there was one, you know, there is another, these two guys, and I'm pretty sure y'all know them. You know what I'm saying? I've made comments under because I'm not gonna lie, they're funny. They're really, really funny. These two Hodge twins or whatever. These guys are really, really funny. And anybody listen to them, don't come for me on this and don't bring them to me on this, you know. I wouldn't see why they would be interested in anything little old bitty me have to say. But I will say this. The way that they continue to talk about drag and belittle and degrade black women, especially for the conservative audience that they have, rich white people and these white conservative folks and all that, you know, we see, much like Candace Owens, the type of people that they make their jokes to. You know what I'm saying? They want to laugh at black women. They want to laugh at black people. And that's what they do. And it's a shame and it's sad. And I'm hoping that, you know, they'll get checked too eventually. You know what I'm saying? Because again, their stuff, it's again very, very uncalled for. You know what I'm saying? And it's tired and it's played out. Now I have listened to them. I think they are literally very funny. Like I really do. I laugh at a lot of their stuff, but when it comes to the black, I really think that they could have a very successful, continually successful show without adding the shit that they say about black people and black women. I just think that I really feel like black men in general and these podcasts, they're literally like the like a minstrel show. And I think a lot of people almost view that like that. I think a lot of these, you know, these white people who are behind and pushing money into these podcasters, y'all can mark my word because I'm telling you, that's exactly what's happening. Um, you know, I feel like I said, those things are slowly coming to an end. I also feel like it's really sad that these men do not realize how much of the butt of the joke that they are. Because, like I said, when real men sit around and talk about real world things, real world issues, and actual things that matter between women, family, community, and things like that, they don't choose black men. When they want to laugh, they go get black men. When they want to be entertained, they go get black men for that. But I don't know. It's sad that black men don't see it and they continue to do it. Either that or they really, for real, just don't give a damn. Not only about everything that I already said or about themselves. It's one or the other. I think it's a little bit of both, honestly. And I think it's really sad. But, you know, it is what it is, guys. I wanted to come and make that. I was a little inspired by seeing this British duo. They have so many of these duos, which, like I keep saying, if you guys look at everything, you'll see how all these things are being set up. There's a light skin one, and then there's a dark skin um, of these two like duo podcaster things, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere, and so there's this, I guess these guys are British, really, really dark skinned one. Then there's this other light skinned one, whatever, you know. And they were laughing at black women. I listened to it. They were laughing at black women via a white guy who was saying the shit that he said, which, funny thing about so much, guys, there's always been a history of white men not liking women. They were the original ones. They were the original ones who hated their women. So they just spread that. That's where all this red pill, toxic masculinity, that's where all of this stuff even came from. Patriarchy, misogyny, that stuff came from white men. And it's nothing new under the sun. They're just pushing it down to black men. And because black men were never really ever a part of that stuff, it seems like it's new, but it's not. It ain't new. It's the same old that it's always been. White women first had the struggle that black women have. Being cheated on, being lied on, being gaslit, manipulated, left, cheated on, like all of these things were first done to white women by white men. Black people had a pretty strong family connection up until, I don't know, probably even 20, 30 years ago, maybe a little longer. But a lot of these things that black men do and are following, they were not ever like our thing. Like we did, it's almost like the more we get closer to them, or the more we get closer to behaving like them, because that's exactly what's happening. We've been over here way too long, if you ask me, because we acting just like them. And now you're seeing the fallout and the ramifications of it. Only funny thing about it is that black women are willing and literally willing to leave their man and leave all of this stuff for freedom. And white women always compromised. White women were always like, yeah, this is bad, this is horrible, this is whatever, I'm going to turn feminist, I'm going to do this, whatever, I'm going to fight back, I'm going to rebel, I want equal this, equal that, whatever. And I'm not saying all of that is wrong. But white women have also always still stayed with their men, though. They have never just left their man. Yeah, they've always compromised and kept that, but black women really can't afford to do that. Black women can't afford to continue to help carry black men, even in the face of them showing us that they hate us. Like, no, it doesn't benefit. I mean, do you see the femicide rate with black women? Like, black men are literally, truly, truly, for real, unaliving black women and children. Whereas I'm not saying that white men didn't, because they did, of course, but not at the rate that black women are being unalived. Like black men, see, it's like white men did this stuff for fun and sport, but they were like always going to go back to their wives, always going to, but black men take all of it to another level. Like it's unbearable for a black woman, family, unit, community, all that to stay together with the type of stuff that black men do. Like they make it impossible, even economically. Like they make it completely. I mean, look at the whole 50-50 thing, and I'm going to be finished here in just a second. Even like the whole 50-50 thing, black men literally expect 50-50, period. Now, white men, white men may say and have done and all of the things that they've done historically, and the white woman was mad and all of this kind of stuff, but the white woman was still in her nice home. The white woman was still being taken care of. The white woman was still getting all of her needs met. The white man was still bringing home hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They were still in a nice community, going to the best schools, their children, and still just having a nice life. You know what I'm saying? Black women don't have any of that to fall back on. Black women have to get up, go out, hustle, get a degree, get a job, 2 jobs, whatever, and just make that stuff work on their own. They don't have the luxury that white women have historically had in this country. Black men were not doing all the stuff that they're doing, but yet keeping her in a nice home. But yet still giving her nannies and maids and making all the money, and they're going on trips and they're doing all of it. Black women ain't never had that. So what does a black woman have to hold on to? And for what and for why? As far as trying to keep the black family unit together. For what and for why? You know what I'm saying? So this thing needs to be torn down. It's getting torn down. It has to be torn down completely and completely redone. All of it. And this is what I see. I'm seeing, like I said, in the younger people, younger millennials and things like that, I see them literally trying to do something different. They don't want the old traditional. It didn't work. Like literally, it did not work. And these young men are out here like, you know what? I ain't finna be alone. I'm finna get me a wife. I'm finna have a woman. I'm like, I don't hate women like y'all do. Like, I don't know what y'all did, but I don't hate women the way y'all did. And they're willing to get into good, healthy, monogamous relationships with women and do it a different way and listen to women. Women are not completely irrational, delusional, don't know what they want. Like that is part of that toxic masculinity for you to even think that. Like that's retarded for you to even think that. But that's the idea, mindset, and ideology that is out there. And like I said, a lot of these younger men are just not falling for that stuff. They know women are wise. They know women can multitask. They know women know how to keep things together and keep families together and everything. They know women are good organizers. They know women are good thinkers. You know what I'm saying? They probably have good women in their family that are setting those examples for them, you know? So that's all I really wanted to say, guys. It's just literally and really a shame the way that black men continue. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of them, especially the older ones, maybe old dogs can learn new tricks. I don't know. But it's really sad that they're continuing on with the same old, tired, worn out rhetoric that they have been, and when they can't do it anymore, they just got to quit. Like, damn, you won't even try to change your stuff. You won't even try to lie and be like, I was wrong about this, and maybe this is what I need. They'd rather just get completely out of the game, and maybe they should. Maybe they should, because they don't need to make money off black women. They don't need to make money off black children, the community. They literally ought to be ashamed to be black people. Like literally they need to be. So you guys, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Until the next video. See you next time.